Welcome to SpaceWire. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more updates. The world is changing. For decades, Western powers dominated the global stage, but now, BRICS is rewriting the script. What began as an economic acronym, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and later South Africa, has grown into a powerful political and economic force. With new members like Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, and the UAE, BRICS now represents a massive share of the world's population and economy. Its influence is no longer distant, it's shaping global affairs and for the first time reaching into Europe. Some European nations are now looking eastward, exploring the possibility of joining this alternative global order. This signals a potential shift in alliances and priorities, challenging the long-standing transatlantic bond between Europe and the United States. The expansion of BRICS is no longer confined to Asia, Africa, or South America. It's arrived at Europe's doorstep. This reflects a growing desire for a multipolar world, where power is distributed among several centers, not just the West. Nations want more options, more partners, and more control over their destinies. BRICS offers a model that emphasizes national sovereignty and mutual respect. For countries that feel unheard in traditional power corridors, this message is resonating. As Europe faces this new reality, the world is watching closely. In the Balkans, Serbia and Bosnia and Herzegovina are at the center of this story. Both are openly signaling interest in BRICS, driven by unique political and economic circumstances. Serbia, balancing ties with Russia, China, and the West, sees BRICS as a strategic pillar. In Bosnia and Herzegovina, it's the leadership of Republika Srpska that's most vocal, viewing BRICS as a more respectful alternative to the EU. Their interest is symbolic. These aren't economic giants, but their pivot could set a precedent for other European nations. This move is as much about gaining leverage with the West as it is about genuinely joining the East. What's driving these nations toward BRICS? The promise of a multipolar world and greater respect for sovereignty. BRICS's principle of non-interference appeals to countries wary of EU conditions and reforms. Economic incentives are key: access to massive markets and the new development bank's funding, often with fewer strings attached. For Serbia and Republika Srpska, deep cultural ties with Russia add to the appeal. Joining BRICS is also a strategic hedge, diversifying alliances in an uncertain world. It offers flexibility and reduces dependence on the EU or US. This desire for autonomy is pushing these nations to explore new alliances. For them, BRICS represents a chance to forge a new path. BRICS is a coalition of major emerging economies united to boost their global influence. Unlike NATO or the EU, BRICS is a flexible forum for cooperation, not deep integration. Its new development bank funds infrastructure, offering an alternative to Western-led institutions. The contingent reserve arrangement provides financial safety for members. BRICS is also a political platform, allowing non-Western powers to coordinate on global issues and counterbalance the G7. With its recent expansion, BRICS now represents nearly half the world's population and a significant share of global GDP. This momentum makes it increasingly attractive to European hopefuls. The path to BRICS membership is fraught with challenges. Serbia faces pressure from the EU, risking its accession process and financial aid if it pivots east. Bosnia and Herzegovina's internal divisions, Republika Srpska versus the central government, could trigger political paralysis. Economically, both nations are deeply tied to the EU. Alienating Brussels could have serious consequences. The gamble. Can BRICS opportunities outweigh potential EU losses? There's also an ideological divide. BRICS's political diversity contrasts with the EU's shared democratic values. Joining BRICS could create domestic and international rifts. The stakes are high, and the outcome is far from certain. The EU and BRICS offer starkly different models. The EU is a tightly integrated union with shared laws, a single market, and pooled sovereignty. BRICS is a loose alliance. No common laws, no single market, just cooperation on key projects. In the EU, decisions are made through complex institutions. In BRICS, every member has an equal voice and veto. The EU offers deep integration and financial support, but at the cost of some sovereignty. BRICS offers economic opportunities and global influence while preserving national independence. For Serbia and Bosnia and Herzegovina, the choice is about more than economics. It's about their future identity. Which model will they choose? Joining BRICS would be uncharted territory for a European nation. A formal application would send shockwaves requiring careful diplomacy with both West and East. BRICS expansion is decided by consensus. Every member must agree. Aspiring nations must prove their value and build domestic support, facing resistance from pro-Western groups. Navigating internal and external pressures would demand strong leadership. If successful, accession could be swift, but the real challenge would be managing life as a BRICS member in Europe. The balancing act would only intensify after joining. If Serbia and Bosnia and Herzegovina join BRICS, it could reshape Europe. New divisions may emerge, not just East versus West, but EU integration versus BRICS multipolarity. The EU's prestige would be challenged, possibly forcing Brussels to rethink its approach to neighbors. Globally, BRICS's expansion into Europe would cement its status as a true alternative to the Western order. The US would see its influence in Europe tested as new alliances form. This move reflects a broader shift toward a multipolar world. Whether these nations succeed or not, their ambition is already changing the conversation. The geopolitical map is being redrawn, and the world is watching.